Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about a game changer possibly coming to the world of The Walking Dead. First thing first, a warning. We're pulling from a lot of material that was in the most recent issue of The Walking Dead comic, issue 165. So here's your one and only spoiler warning, so listen loud and clear. Issue 165, spoilers. If you're a TV-only fan, this is a character that's no longer involved in the TV show, on the TV show, but other characters might end up adapting or remixing this storyline, so continue watching at your own risk, essentially. Anyway, let's dive right into this. If you want to know what's going on, Eugene was in trouble, Andrea saved him, and then once they got away from walkers, it looked like she had a bite on her neck. Now, this could be anything. This could be a busted old machete that was stuck in a walker, the handle started breaking, and it took a chunk out of her neck. This could be a stray bullet that clipped her on the neck. There were people shooting. But I feel like if this is that big of a misdirect, you need to follow it up with a huge death. You can't misdirect in such an epic way like this with such a fan favorite character, a character that's been there since the beginning, since close to the beginning. You can't do that and have it just a fake out. Like, it can't be, oh, that was a stray bullet and it's no big deal, whoop-de-whoop. No, it has to be something totally different. We've had a couple fake outs in the comic book, but they had proper setup, so it wasn't anything for fans to get mad at. If this happens and it's just a fake out, this hurts the franchise because a lot of fans will look at the world of The Walking Dead as not having the balls, having what it takes to kill off popular characters. So let's look at it as it's definitely a bite mark. For this video, it's definitely a bite mark. Now, what else happened? We had Siddiq find the radio. This could, at first I thought this means we can get rid of Eugene and then we can have Siddiq take the radio to Rick, but I don't think we need such a convoluted storyline just for that to happen. But I do believe they can take advantage of this and have Siddiq bring the radio, not the radio itself literally, but bring the radio to Rick's attention or maybe Eugene's attention that he's got to tell the others, and this leads Eugene to telling the people on the radio what happened and why another person was on the radio in a way to explain it like, listen, Stephanie, I didn't tell anyone about this. Stephanie's a person on the radio, but this event happened. Someone I'm very close to, someone that is, married to our leader, someone very close to all of us since the very beginning. She got bit trying to save my life. And then Stephanie on the other line can say, well, why is this such a sad thing? Heal her and da-da-da-da. And this could be an epic cliffhanger for, especially in the world of The Walking Dead, where it leaves us on that note. This Stephanie, this group from Ohio is talking about a cure, about healing this. The girl on the radio was saying, why are you going to let your friend die? Do something about it, whoop-de-whoop. And that could be one of the ways they end issue 167, for example, because there's something feels wrong. Something feels off. Not wrong in a bad way. Something feels off. It feels like Andrea is a misdirect. The Saviors, it's a misdirect. I feel like it's tying the story up in some big way, like maybe the Savior altercation is going to show Maggie that Negan is on the survivor's side, 100%. Maybe that's the setup. Maybe the stuff with Andrea is to bring this Ohio community closer. She's bit on the neck. The Ohio community has the information they need to heal her. And it's not a magical cure. It's not anything crazy and epic like that. It's not someone who's immune. And I know it gets complicated talking about the bites, so hopefully we can clear it up real quick. When somebody gets bit, they get an infection, the same as if I, rip open my arm and I stick dirt and nasty stuff. I wipe my hand on a public restroom and I get germs in my wound. I would get an infection if I don't keep it clean, if I don't take care of the wound. In real life right now, I will get an infection. Well, in The Walking Dead, when a zombie bites you, his mouth is so full of germs that it gives you an infection. You don't have a zombie infection. Everyone already has the zombie virus. You're already infected, but the bite gives you a really bad infection that kills you because it's so powerful, and because you die, you turn. And I know there's still a ton of people who don't know that. They think that the bite, turns you, and also you dying is what turns you, and yada, yada, yada. So the person from Ohio, Stephanie, maybe their community has the ingredients they need to make the cocktail of antibiotics that you would need to cure this infection, so that way it doesn't spread and give her the fever and kill her. Again, this is not something where it's like an immune character, a cure per se. This is something where they are from a community that knows that you need to treat it with this type of medicine, and maybe they need to even make a cocktail type medicine that could cure people of the bites, and yada, yada, yada. Now, when it comes to going in that direction, a lot of fans are going to say, well, what's the point now? Why didn't they do that in the very beginning? We followed a cop from a coma, you know what I'm saying? In Fear the Walking Dead, we followed a couple teachers. We don't know if there were characters who learned that. We don't know if even the government started doing that. It happened so fast, and it happened in a way where not just simply transferring it through bites, but also anybody and everybody who died. It could be under any different circumstance you turn into a zombie. It could have happened to such a degree and so fast that even though there might have been communities out there, little groups of government agencies that were able to cure bites, people are still dying. So it's not a simple solution to say, oh, because we can whip up this cocktail. There could be a million different reasons restricting it. You might need an extra strong potion or yada, 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 but we'll get into the specifics. But my point is, this could be a refresher for the world of The Walking Dead as far as another reason, another sign, another symbol of hope, of proof that they are going in the right direction. You reestablish communities, you reestablish civilization, and you start over again. And now you can make medicine, so even when someone gets bit, and this is where you still keep the tension, because you need to make make the antibiotics, you need to give them the antibiotics in enough time. Like right now, Andrea is still in danger. They still need to get her to Ohio. The Ohio community, maybe they don't want them coming there. Maybe that builds up some tension as well. Ohio's a distance away, no GPS. We don't know how rough the terrain is, so she might be asked out. Even if this was the case, it might be too late for her. How terrible would that be? In some kind of beautiful, horrific, poetic way, they have the antibiotics that you would need. They have something to cure the infection for Andrea, but she's going to get the fever too soon. They won't make it to her. Even if they bring Andrea in a car, she will turn before they even get there. But that's still good news. You still have something that can cure her. I think that idea alone in the story would just be heartbreaking but hopeful all at the same time, because now you establish this relationship with this new community, and you also have that information for everyone else in your community that you can now heal the bites and stuff like that. Anyway, this is something that, as a prediction, I don't want to make it. I'm not very confident they're going to go in this direction. I'm not very confident at all, because Robert Kirkman has always strayed away from going into specifics when it came to the virus, when it came to cures and stuff like that. And I don't want them to find a cure. It's not about that. But I do feel like it is possible we could be leaning towards being able to heal them when they get bites as far as the infection. But again, I'm not confident in this as a prediction. It's just an idea that I thought about, and it intrigued me so much. I've been thinking about it for hours now, and I thought, you know what, I was doing something else today, piecing a video together for this weekend, and I was like, I need to sit down and get this off my chest, maybe discuss it. Maybe one of you guys have a different perspective and you can show me why it just wouldn't work, it's stupid, and it'll take my mind off it, because when my creative wheels get turning, I start thinking about so many different story possibilities you can do with this new tool, this new element. You have to admit there's something very odd and fascinating about the decision to have them in the middle of a scuffle, and if it was just to make it seem like a very stressful and chaotic moment, like in a comic book, it's hard to display that visually, where you have all these walkers around you, but you're just hitting like crazy. You can do it very well in a TV show. They've done it already, where Rick and Michonne were pushing walkers, and they got hands all over them. It looks real. It looks dangerous. You're right in the thick thick of things, and if someone got scratched or something, you probably wouldn't really know it until you broke away from that, because you got all these hands on you, a lot of pressure, a lot of pushing around. And with the comic book, it's a little bit more difficult to create that kind of environment. So maybe she did just get bit, and this was the way they wanted to display that. But again, happening off panel, and with the way they did it, I just feel like there's something else that's missing there. And it might not just be as simple as she got bit and now she's going to die. Anyway, thoughts, theories, opinions, and predictions down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.